Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Hawkeye trade session. This is Tuesday, December 8th, and trading the foreign exchange on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. The high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. Before deciding to invest in foreign exchange, you should carefully consider your investment objective, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of the risks associated with the foreign exchange trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. This live trading room is for educational purposes only. No financial advice or recommendations will be provided. Any trade taken during the live session is not a recommendation or a suggestion that you should also do the same. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Do not trade money that you cannot afford to lose. Before trading live, always operate with a written trade plan that identifies the rules for entries, exits, targets, and risk management. And with that, let's go to the chart. We have a US yen trade opened up at 745, ascending wedge. Take a look, and we're going to put that one on, and we'll see what we have with that. Looks like it already made a strong move to the upside, but we'll see if it's anything that we can trade or not. So let me change my charts. And I haven't really even drawn this one out yet. But it was an ascending wedge, 745. Let me get this open here. We have a couple of trend lines which you drew from yesterday's activity. I'm just going to go ahead and take all this off, and so we'll start fresh. And we have 745 was an ascending wedge. Looks like we're going from low to high. We do have a we have a nice move down. We had a pivot low, came back up, retest the low right here. So right here, this is where this may be coming off of a low. Here's another retest of, we have a double bottom right here. So we pretty much looking at this as a demand zone that was already tested once, a couple of times actually. You see all these wicks down here. Here was the first, this was the first pullback. So we're going to call this our demand zone. It may take a while before it comes back to retest that, but the next time the price comes back in that level, we're going to be looking for us to take a long on it down here. So I'm going to move this to demand. And here's our wedge alert. Here's the overnight high. Here is the overnight low. So we're just going to go ahead and corral that range. High to low. And we're going to flat top the top. We had a breakout right here. Excuse me. And from this strong move down, we had here is a rally, a base, a drop, retested up here, came back down. So this is the next, this is the supply zone we're looking at up here. So that would be our target area. Now the question is going to be, which way is this thing going to break? So I'm just going to cover all these wicks from the time where it left, place where it left. We're going to make this a supply zone. And now we have the break of this overnight, and we came up, it wicked up, couldn't hold. So right now, this could have been a head fake. We're not sure what's going to happen with that, but we're going to now keep that in mind. I'm just going to tuck these are trend line to tuck this trend coming up, and we'll see what happens when it gets up to here. From the break of where the B level is and where the supply zone is. Let's see if we have enough range to take a trade. There's only 9 pips to that area. So I'm going to pass on this trade. There's just not enough room to the upside for my liking. It could go up through and break all the way up, but I'm just going to hold off on this trade. I don't really like the range that I have to be able to work with. I put our 15-minute fib lines on here. Then we have a blue fib line right up here in the supply zone. If it does break, I'll be looking at maybe getting a pullback from this area up here, We have a strong 15-minute fib zone right here. I'm pretty sure these are 15. Let me double check that. That's a 5. Let's see where the 15 is. So there's a green one up here. This is a green 15. $15-minute green right here. And here's a 15-minute blue right here. So yes, that's still a 15-minute. Yep. So we could very well get a run up to this level, and I would expect a bounce off of this level here. And so we're going to lock that in. We'll use that for a reference. And we'll come into our lower time frame. We'll come to our 5-minute chart and see what we have with a 5-minute. And we'll see if we can adjust this D level so we can catch some of this trend coming on up from the C to the D. If we get a break of this CD trend line, then we'll be looking going short down to our demand zone, and that would give us lots of room for a target, I believe. Comes all the way down there. That's our 14 pips, so that would be a good target. And so right now we are in between. So here's our blue line, here's our red, green, back to the blue. And so right now we are inside this, I believe this is going to be a 14 pip range or 21 pip range. That's US yen, that's 12 pips, I'll say. So if it comes back down here to retest, right now it's trading inside a 12 pip range. And I'm just going to stay out of it for right now. Any questions about that? And let's see here if we have something else we're looking at here. Let me double check. It does have pressure to the upside, but I think we may be coming to the end. This could be, I'm thinking this is being more of a head fake. I'd be more apt to take this. We also have this 5-minute 62 coming right down here at the bottom. That could be a problem. It could get a bounce off of that. We also have the 30-minute. And you can see where price came up right at the 30-minute 62. All the moving averages on this 5-minute chart are all combined together. So this is actually a zone with the overnight range. You can see that all the price action was pretty much, this was all the overnight range, and this is right where it's all consolidating. We do have a little bit of an uptrend here. And so it's in a channel, an upward channel. If it breaks the downside, I'd be looking more up to take it, but I want to see it clear through this 62. So I'd be looking at get a break below this green fib line, which is right where the 30-minute 62 is. Get a break, pull back, and then so that's what I'm looking at for this one. All right, now I'm going to stay out of this one. And there was another trade alert at 6 o'clock on the Euro US. And let's see where we have on that one. Again, I'm going to clear out the chart. Euro US. That was at 6 o'clock this morning. And it was an ascending wedge as well. So here's our trend line. Here's our, let's check and see where our trend line kind of starts. I like this trend, but I like this over here. This was the overnight high. Here's the overnight low. I'm going to bring this trend line to the overnight low. I'm going to take it from yesterday's high. So this is yesterday's low as well. So I'm going to take it from yesterday's high to, and you can see that basically everything is in between this range. And the whole range, yesterday's range, was actually pretty good. Looks like a pretty good size range of 76 pips. But we have a higher low, and we have lower highs. So I'm going to put another trend line up to the top here so we see what our higher time frame, what our daily price action is. So right now it's trading inside this range, and right now I'm just going to, if it were to, right now we have a little, we still have a lower high, higher low off of this. Here's today's range so far. And it's just winding up, getting a little bit tighter. And we wait. If we get a break of this, where the C is, it's going to have to get through this. I want to see it get through this trend line here. We get a break, come down, test, it comes back and retest, and then we can get another break of this. Then we have room to go to the south side here. And we'll have a look and see where our target would be. And here's the last pivot we had. Here's the origin of the move, came back up, retested, came back, made a new high. This is the range that I'd be looking. This was back for about 3 or 4 days ago. So I'd be looking at this drop, this little pullback of this upward move. I'd be looking at some buyers coming in right down in this area. So we'll mark that for a target. And let's see, we have a little rally, basing rally, nice wick over here, came back in, tested, and then finally that got broken. So this is going to probably be a little bit of a problem getting through this area. And it could drive it right down into our demand zone. And there would be probably enough room for a trade on that to 33 pips to this. Yeah, I would say I'm looking at more for a, this has been a reversal from a nice strong move up from last week. Reversal, come back down, retest. It could break through here. And we have another area right in this area. This is the origin. This is the origin of this whole up move. And I would be looking, this has the potential of having a harmonic factor to it. Here's the high. Here's the pullback, which is the overnight pullback. Come up to a C and then come down to a D. So looking right around in this area for a possible target if it can break through. I like it more to the downside. We do have a little bit of a, you can see this is a series of wedges. And I like this AC for a trend line here. So right now it's inside this whole area. If we can get a break, let's see if we have a trend line from, we actually do have a break from the X to the B. It's trying to do that right now as we speak. And so I'm going to draw a trend line from the X to the B. And if we get the break of this trend line, I'm going to make this one a different color. So here's the anchor, here's the hit, here's a retest right here, came back up. Right now it's looking to try and break through this. And we'll look at it on, and we are getting we did get the break, a pullback. Right now it's trying to break through this thing again. This thing could go short. And this is Euro US. Let me double check something else here. Yeah, I like this thing to the short side. There was a partial retest. Now it's still inside this orange triangle here. If it breaks to the upside of this purple trend line, then I'll be looking at this as be a possible trap. And we wait and see.
I'm not sure if I really like that Euro US, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm seeing that the RSIs are cutting up to the top. If we get a breakout, I mean, if it breaks out, we still have this trend line coming in. So we would have some room to the upside if it breaks the first purple line. And we have 31 pips to the upside. So, I mean, we could possibly get a nice little push up there. But no, all we can do is project. We can't predict. So, like, if we don't get a close, if we get it, what I would be willing to do is I would be willing to take a short up here with a very tight stop. If it breaks out, then come back in and reverse positions. So that's kind of what how I'm going to play this one here.
Looks like a decent wedge though on the Euro US. Good morning.
Good morning, Matt.
Looks like a decent wedge.
Yeah. Well, that's basically the overnight high, overnight low. This is a trend. This is the trend off of a projected harmonic up here with the A, B, C. If the C holds, and this one's broken. This is the bottom. This is the XB trend line. If this one was broken, this one's still holding. I'm looking at this as being a trap. Very tight stop. If I'm right, it keeps on going down. You got a nice entry. If I'm wrong, I get stopped out and I head on up. I still have room to the upside.
This is like a textbook wedge, Al. This is good. You got 3 nice hits to the top. You got 3 almost tags to the bottom. You got a good distance between the top and the bottom. Everything looks really.
Yeah. If we get in here, we could use this for a stop. That's still a 25 pip stop. That's a little bit heftier than what we like. Yeah, I do like the idea of, I like seeing a 15-minute close below this trend line, which we have 1, 2, almost 3. Now we'll take a look and see where this when it's going to be closing about another few minutes.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens here.
I trust the top more than the bottom at this point.
To go long or to go short?
Well, whatever bounce happens at the top, I like the top better. Potentially long, but we'll see. We'll see what it's going to look like here in the next little bit. I wouldn't take it unless we get a nice 5-minute candle close in whatever direction.
Move this up a little bit here. We still have the B's, and they're still looking nice. I like the idea that it just came up into that trap rate and was rejected. I like the fact it broke the bottom of this harmonic line, which comes all the way back down to a couple days ago. And we have, let's see. We do have some strength, though, to the upside. Let's see from the top of this.
Stick on this one's really big, Al.
I'll probably make a decent move. It's got 13. You have a 13 pip range between the trap and the bottom of the blue line. If you take it short, you could possibly get 10 pips out to the bottom. If it breaks, you got room to the upside. So right now it's, and let's check our fib lines, see where our fib lines are. That might give us some clue.
Yeah, because when I'm drawing out my stick and stuff, I've got something at 1.2166 as a target for the upside.
We do have some divergence here. If you look at this pivot high here with this, where the RSIs are high, you look at where the RSIs are a little bit lower, but you have a higher high. This is a divergence. And usually when you get that divergence, you get a break to the downside then, if the divergence is a valid one. And there's a high, higher high. Here's a high with a lower high. This is a strong move up, right up into the trap. Getting everybody sucked in to go long. I'm going to take this one short. If I'm wrong, I'll just have a very tight stop. And my target's going to be at 21.28. 21.28.
Yeah, I'm still gonna wait for a 5-minute candle close. I was talking and I forgot that I was on mute. I adopted that from Ava that we just. I'm just gonna sit on the 5-minute for a little bit and see. But I think I see why you would go short. So
As I'm just swing the bat, and I'm going to take a short, small trade. My risk is very little.
mm-hmm.
If I look at my order, my stop is I've got a 6 pip stop. I've got a 20 pip target on to the downside, to the bottom where the wedge broke out. And we will see what happens. Actually, I'm going to take this just a little bit to the top of the red fib line, which is going to be 21.37. I'll give it a couple more pips. Because if I'm wrong, then we have lots of room to the upside. And I can reverse positions, get that my stop out, be placed, and I have some room to be profitable for the day. From here to here, we have 22 pips. I'm risking 9. And if I get especially if I get a close above this this trap area, I like the fact we had a strong move up. A lot of times you get these strong moves up because everybody pushed in and then they go and they reverse it. And I like the fact we have the divergence. Let's go to our lower time frames. Let's see what it looks like on the 1 minute. That's 1 hour. Let's go to 1 minute here. Here's our pivot high. If this thing pulls back, I should be able to bring my stop down a little bit to the top of this red trap area. Got my risk a little bit. Now I'm down to 6 pips of risk.
Makes for a really tight entry. When you can enter on 6 pips, that's pretty solid.
And my target would be down here. My first target would be right here at the bottom of the where this thing was rejected. If I go to the 30 minutes 62, So I've got room for 8 pips there. I can get my 7 pips possibly if I get it out of that. I would like to see these moving averages reverse.
I think I may go long on this one.
Well, then one of us will make some money.
It all depends on this 1 5-minute candle, what it's going to do.
And the 5-minute candle is going to close.
I don't like it enough right now to go long.
No, not yet. I got 3 minutes for the candle to close. And then
Oh, okay. Yeah,
this is our 5-minute candle reference right there.
It's pulling back a bit.
And right now with the RCS tool, we still have euro strength by 5 to 1. So that's would give some confirmation to go long. That's on the 1 minute. Let's see what it looks like on. We have a 4-point spread on the RCS, a 4-point spread or 5-point spread for. So right now it is showing strength to the upside. And the dollar was strong coming back down. So now they're now just starting to flip directions. It's giving the euro some strength. A little bit of a conflict. Let's look and see what the RCS did up here. Okay, we had dollar strength. At this point, they were both relatively weak. The dollar took over coming down. And we had the crossover of euro strength, crossover dollar strength, and crossover euro strength. So they're flipping back and forth. And this is the beginning of our M that we often talk about with the M pattern. We have it. There's the first leg of the M. Here's the middle of the M. Here's the retest of the upper humps of the M. And I'm still looking for this thing to go short. And I also like the fact it broke the harmonic wave here. Come back down to retest this, and we'll see what happens. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Mm-hmm.
A good story.
But you can see the M pattern. Here's the first leg of the M. Here's the middle of the M.
This will be a good trade, guys. So whatever's going to happen here.
And then if you go to from here, then we're looking down to retest this area. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to lose a lot, but then I have a chance to go to the upside. Again, the Fibonacci lines we're looking at, here's the blue Fibonacci line right up here. And this should be that's the 2 minute. So we have a little bit of a zone up here. You can see where it's been respecting the 2 minute blue line down here, 7 pips, 14 pips, 21 pips. So right now it's in the upper third of this move from where the C is, actually where all the consolidation was right down in here. So remember, these Fibonacci lines are nothing more than institutional price points. Let's see what we're going to... I like the fact that on our 5-minute chart, our RSIs are up. We got the 3-period RSI coming up, tagging the 89. And now we're seeing where it's coming to cross over both of these are pointing down, and we're getting the crossover of the 8 and the 3. In the meantime, we sit on our hands and wait and see.
Oh, you got your cross, eh, Al? Did you see that? The on the way up.
Yep.
Let's see what the 1 looks like real quick. Yeah, I don't know enough right now. This will be a really good move when it finally goes, though. So at least it looks like it's setting up for a real nice move.
See how the U.S. yen trade was looking at. We're looking at it, got the break. It did break through here. It is right here at the 30.62. And our RCS tool says we are on the 5-minute, says we're favoring the Japanese yen, not by much. Let's see what it looks like on the $15-minute. We did get the 15-minute close below the trend line. Having to pull back, 15-minute close, coming back up, retested it. And right now it's bouncing off of the 30-minute 62. And we have a nice drop, base drop. It's retesting the base, retesting the wedge. Basically, it did that. Now it's retesting the 62 here. If it breaks through there, do we have enough room to the downside to where the demand zone is? And I would say the answer to that is we can get our 5 pips out of there, just barely. I'll try taking this one. See, I don't know if I'll let me take it or not. It may not let me take it, but we'll try taking this one.
Why wouldn't it let you take it?
Well, because Wanda just does that to me.
Oh, that's a
Wanda
problem.
doesn't like Al.
Okay.
Wanda doesn't like me.
Why? They don't make enough money off you, or what?
Well,
Not enough losing trades?
Not enough. I'll put a buy stop in right down there. Yeah, I don't know what their deal is with them. I still haven't figured out what the lot size I can take first. I mean, I've got, and this is a demo accounts, but I have enough like $15,000 in there and still won't let me take half the trades I want to take. So I don't know.
That's so dumb.
I haven't figured it out. A lot of it's because of spreads and margin levels that you're allowed to have and all that sort of nonsense.
That makes a lot of sense.
that the U.S. brokers, that the U.S. SEC requires brokers to do. That's why I don't trade with U.S. I don't trade the forex with U.S. brokers.
Nope. Or Canadian brokers or any.
It's nothing that they have any control over. It's just what they're required to be able to do.
Makes sense.
Actually, I think Awanda is probably for a U.S. Broker. They're probably for trading forex. Are probably good as any if you don't want to go international with an international broker.
Are they actually U.S. based though?
I don't know that they are.
I don't think they are, Al,
I know that,
because they would require FIFO and they would require the 50 times leverage, right?
Well, that's the thing is in the U.S. they require FIFO, first in, first out.
Yeah, and also the 1 to 50 times leverage restriction, which is
Right.
where we get stuck with here in Canada as well.
Well, I think Awanda in Canada, I think actually gives you the ability to do. I thought you could do first in, first out, and higher leverages in Canada.
No, you can't. You're stuck at 50. You're stuck at 50.
So right now this thing's still hanging out. It's respecting this 30 minutes 62. So they may not get a lot of punch out of this thing. And the US yen, let's see how that one's doing. It did get me in. I do have my stop up here at the, so I'll keep my stop. Let's check out the 15-minute chart for where I want to make sure my stop is. I like having my stop up here at the, got my fifth levels here. We got a 15-minute. Let's just, let me go to a smart 5-minute chart. And we'll put our fib lines on. We have a red fib line. I'll keep my stop right above this red fib line. And let's see how much room do I have. That's 14 pips. I'm not going to let it go that far, but I'm going to keep it out of harm's way so the brokers don't just go and grab it. And I like keeping it, as long as this red line, I like keeping my stops somewhere in between the red and the blue line, or the next 7 pip next range. A lot of times I'll come up and grab that, but I'm going to keep it right up here to this supply zone. Like I said, I'll have a alert. I'll put an alert in right in this area, right by the where the top of the wedge is. I'll make this an alert. So if it comes up there when I'm not looking at it, I'll at least be alerted to the fact that it's breaking that area. If all goes well, it shouldn't even come back and retest that. But
Actually,
I do have some concern about the 30 minutes 62 on this one getting broken and coming down to hit the demand zone.
What are you seeing, Ava?
I was just going to say, I Googled where Awanda is based. It's based in London, but it's available to Canadians and US citizens.
Okay.
So we have to obviously abide by what our country's laws are with respect to this sort of thing, like leverage and all that kind of thing. But
well, when it comes to London as well, they're getting tied.
I know, but that has no jurisdiction on a Canadian, for example, right?
No, but as a Canadian, we can use whatever broker we want to use. There's nothing wrong with using an overseas broker at all.
No, it's not. I'm just answering the question because Pedro was asking as well, where is Awanda based? Well, I Googled It's based in London, my friend.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Yeah. No, that's good to know as well.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
It's all moving very slowly this morning.
Yes, sir. I'm still waiting to see a nice break here, Al.
Well, we should be another 20 minutes. We'll be coming up on our 9 o'clock hour, so that'll be something to pay attention to and see where things go. And we'll probably start getting somewhat of a move here. Another 5 or 10 minutes, we'll probably start getting the move here. Getting ready for the 9 o'clock open.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it go up, Al. but we'll see. It could crash down. It's really in an interesting spot.
Well, I believe it's either going to go up, down, or sideways.
I don't think it's going. I don't think it's going sideways. I don't see it at 9 o'clock hour. This thing's gone.
Good commitment, Al.
Yep. I'm 100% sure it's going to do one of those three things.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Way to play it safe, guys.
And we'll see if we get any new alerts at 8 o'clock. We'll try and pay attention to that.
Actually, Pedro has a question in the chat. He's talking about Awanda. He's using it for his demo. Wasn't sure if it would be a good idea to continue with Awanda when I trade live. Who's using Awanda with live trading? I, for one, am not. I'm for Forex trading, I'm using my offshore broker because of the leverage. Awanda will only allow you 50 to 1 leverage.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I now I'm not well acquainted with the regulations in the UK, but I am aware that they are tightening up their rules and stuff as well.
I think Canada as a whole will only allow 50 to 1.
Yes.
And so if you go to an offshore broker, if you find a good broker, you know, for using the expert advisors, et cetera, you're told to use 500 to 1 leverage. So that's riskier if you're manually trading, and that's ultimately up to yourself, what you want to do. But Awanda will only allow you 50 to 1 in Canada, and the US, I believe, is the same.
Yeah, 51 definitely. I know it's definitely 50 to 1 in the US.
Yeah. So that's up to you, Pedro. That just limits, it could act as a safety net too, because it won't let you trade like a crazy man.
Yeah, like, but at 50 to 1, there's certain currency pairs you can't even put a position on.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, like because you're not going to have the amount of leverage available to even take a trade. And I forget what currency pair it is.
And there's my bounce, and I'm getting out of this trade. There it is. There's
done?
my target. I'm done.
Look at that. Look at that, Al.
So did that answer your question, Pedro?
Why will it not let me out of this trade?
Oh, that's a problem.
Won't let you in, won't let you out.
Well, that got me in, let me in, but now it won't let me out. Now, why does it not let me out? Sure, you went to close position. Yes, I said I wanted to close the position. Failed to close position. The trace fish does not exist. What do you mean it doesn't? I wonder.
Oh, you closed out. Did you close out the target?
Well, I'm trying to just close out this closed position here. Trying to close it, and I'm saying yes. I want to. Partial position. Is there partial? Let's see that if that helps.
That's just rude. They should let you close out your position when you want to.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this is my target. I said this again. This has to do with, I don't know. I'm not sure what. I haven't really investigated that closely. But anyway, here was my entry. Here was my target, and I'm trying to get out. And right now, it's still showing that I'm still in the trade.
Huh.
Let's see if it maybe it's Euro US. Protect. Let's just see here if it will show me where
The order does not exist. By all intents, it sounds like it's already closed.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering too. But let me check my charts up here. See failure. There we go.
There it is. I found that with the Wanda before too. Is that I think something's still open because it looks that way.
So it did close my position out. So yeah. I did. Okay, I did. This is open profits. Oh, US yen. Okay, I'm still on the US yen.
Okay, it looks like your US yen's still moving.
This is why I like taking trades, especially I like seeing these strong moves up into a trap area, because all that just tells me is that the market makers are trying to get the price up there to get everybody in. And these strong candles are what the ones that people like to grab onto to go long, and all it does is bring you right up into a trap. They just lead you right to the trap. And I said on the other side of this, the coin on this one, we have the strong. Here's our trend line for our harmonic, which I'll show that again. Now, so I just drew this harmonic myself just by what I saw. It's not what I call a technical harmonic that maybe might be drawn by a program that draws harmonics. Actually, this one probably was. I think this one I may have done that. And this was drawn a couple of days ago, I believe. And here's the X, here's the A, here's the B. Draw the line from the X to the B through the B, and look for the break of the B. And then you also have, and then the target's going to be pretty much down here for the this forms where the C was. And so there's the B pullback. Here's a C. That draws a trend line to hold the C valid. And then we have this one where we get the break. And you also see that we have this M formation that we talked about. And a lot of times you'll see an M formation on the formation at the top of a move to go short, or a W formation at the bottom of the move to go long. This is the M formation. Right at our trend line, we had the break, the retest, and now we're looking at this thing to break through. Now, so let's get through this peak this A area right here. So let's get through that, which is also right at a blue fib line. Still won't let me close that out. Now we know what's going on. And I'll go back to our 5-minute chart. And you see the M. Here's the first leg of the M. Here's the middle of the M. Here's the second leg. And you can see that came in a little bit lower. So this is where I'm looking at. This is being the beginning of a wave 1, wave 2, and then wave 3 will probably be down here below. And we can draw the Fibonacci retracement off of that. And we can look at a reasonable target area would be right in this area, which is right at the bottom of our wedge here. This would be the wave 3 down to, well, I would say probably between the 100 and which is right at our other trend line. So you get some confirmation of different price points. I'll take this off so we don't overclutter the charts. And we'll see if we can get a 5-minute close below or a 15-minute close below this blue trend line. You see we got the 15-minute close here. We got another close here. We have another close here. It's been tested several times. Here's the anchor. Here's the hit. Here's the hit. Here's our target. Now we can draw anchor. There's a hit. And we're going to draw the confirmation line. Anchor, hit, third hit, retest. And we'll see if it can break through. You can see I got in at the trap area, got down at the trend lines. I got my 7 or 8 pips. Let's see what the move of that one was. I got in up here, and down here is 12 pips. That's a 12 pip move. End the trade, at least for right now. US yen. Let's see where that one is.
It was a good trade, Al.
Thank you.
Good job, my friend. That
And
was.
this is coming up on the 9 o'clock hour.
9 minutes to go.
9 minutes ago.
I didn't get in this one.
I did get in this one right now. It's probably not going to let me out of here either, but we'll see.
Great to trust the broker.
Yeah, I just do not trust that. I've had too many problems with it, trying to figure out how much I can take, what I can take. They give you that first in, first out rule. They also give you that you can only leverage so much, and it just goes on and on.
What a gong show.
I find if I take a 2% trade, they only lets me take 1 trade, which means I can't have 2 different positions open on. I said this one, it may be different on a live account. I don't know, but I've never gotten close enough to open one up to find out.
I don't blame you.
Oh, and speaking of live accounts, I checked with our broker about trading oil.
Yes, sir.
And Eva, it's check your live account to see if you get the
I do.
WTI USD and the BRE Brent crude oil.
Okay.
It shows up on the live account. It doesn't show up on the demo accounts.
Okay.
So if you want to, if you're going to want to trade oil, you're going to have to play it for real if you want to now be able to do it.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, it's got lots of them in there.
Okay. Cool.
A lot of indices. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
so I found that answer out for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's so resourceful.
Okay. Yay.
That's a lot of joy.
It is a lot of joy. Because now I have something else to experiment with.
Tis a season for joy.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Okay, that's cool. So it makes me very happy.
Yeah. I'll be curious. I'll let you try it out first and let me know how it goes.
Yeah, right.
So we can't even try it out on a demo.
No.
That's correct.
That kind of is kind of goofy, isn't it?
I did ask them if they would put it on, but I don't believe that's going to be the person I talk to's option.
Because that's kind of weird. I mean, with all the regulations to keep us safe, they don't let us run it on a demo to see how it operates.
Well, I said we don't know what their criteria is of how they operate the demos and what they have to, what costs.
Yeah, what the requirements are.
What the requirements are and all those sort of things. So it's, and they just say we're only going to let you demo so many different pairs because you're basically, the bottom line is demos are basically used to get used to the platform and get used to, pretty much get used to using the platform, and then they want you to kind of go live and start, playing.
Well, I know, but they gotta let you get used to using oil. You can't go live with something you've never used before.
I know there are a lot of different brokers that do different things. Some of them straight up won't even let you. Will only let you trade like 3 pairs on demo.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know what
nannies.
Ah?
They're a bunch of nannies telling us how we should behave ourselves.
Well,
they don't make money out just giving you a demo account.
It is about the money, not gonna lie.
Well, so far this year,
they're not a charity.
It seems, yeah, that's exactly right. So right now, it's still basically this thing's still in the wedge area. Still it's in the, it's when you have like M's and W's and harmonics, you see all it's doing is giving you a series of triangles that the price is trading in. When it breaks into out of one triangle, it's into the other one. So you really want to wait till it breaks out the whole area before it starts. Right now, it's not trending. It's just finding this spot. Once it breaks out of the bottom, now it will be starting to be in the trending mode. But you have a triangle here. You have a triangle here. You have a triangle here, and you also have another one down here. Once it breaks through all those, then you're starting into a trending mode. Until then, it's going sideways, which means I was correct. It was going to go sideways or trend.
Sometimes.
And if it breaks out of this triangle, it's got this triangle to work with, and it has this triangle to work with. But each time, as it gets closer and closer to the apex, it's going to break into another one, and then that's the playground.
Yeah, see, it still didn't really. So I'm surprised you took that trade within the wedge. I'm impressed.
Well, I was looking at, here's the deal, is that so many times, and one of the problems that I've seen over and over again is that when we take these wedge breaks, we're really taking breakout trades. And for full definition of breakout, breaks out of the wedge, you take it for a breakout. One thing about it with the breakouts is that it should come back and retest the trend line, which is what we talked about very early on. And then you break the wedge, comes back, retest the wedge, you get in, and you're going to go short. But the other side of the coin is that your stop needs to be at the other side, which gives us a bigger stop than what we really want. Well, in this case, we're looking at, rather than taking a breakout trade, we're looking at this is a retest of an area. And if it breaks out, fine. If it breaks out, we get our chance we get break out, we get stopped out, we get a chance to get back in. We only lost a little bit here, but we know that our target's going to be up here. So you're better off in just going to swinging the bat at these little trap areas where you get a strong, especially when you see a strong move up like this.
That was a nice trend line, though. That was a really nice trend line. You got that one.
Yeah. Well, there again, it's like when I saw this, especially when I saw this strong candle move up right up into it and just stopped. It was going to do one of two things. It was going to stop base and go right through it, or it's going to stop and turn around, which is oftentimes what we're seeing happening, especially with these wedges. We're saying, okay, if we break the wedge here, and we have here's our trap. But I mean, eventually the traps are going to get broken, which we saw last week, where I said, well, here's a trap. It got into the trap and just kept on going, but also went for a really nice trade. And so if this breaks through here, now we have a look at this area right here, so that if we have the A that it's got to close. This was the overnight low. If it breaks the overnight low, it's going to probably go lower. And then we have, this area all the way down here. But I like looking at these traps from the break of the trend line to where we have our C, which is our C mark for our triangle. And if it can break that, well, then if it can break that, then it comes back and retests, but still has to get through this area. Because this was the overnight low. It's got to break the overnight low, or else it's just going to be a pullback to make a higher high for the day. But here's the overnight low, here's the overnight high, here's the higher low, here's the lower high. And now we're just waiting to see which way it's going to break from the overnight range to the US market range. And we're about 1 minute away from 9 o'clock. And we'll see what happens. How's our US yen doing? And this is a little bit what I was talking about here. We went short. It broke the trend. Right now it's looking like it's just, I mean, right now we're still okay. Our stop is way up here. But if we look at the overnight move on this one, this is the range for the overnight. Here's our day marker. So here was the low, here was the high of the day. So if it breaks if it does, let's see where our RSIs are. Right now they're pointing down, so we're still okay here. We didn't get a 15, we have not, no, we did get a 15-minute close, but there was a pretty weak close right now. It was a small little candle. Here's the move up to get everybody sucked into the trade, which forms this is our trap right in here. Let's see. A to B. Here is our wedge alert. It came in, it broke it, but this one couldn't really close. We had an inside candle, and now it came back down, retested down here. So going to have a little deal like, let's see, this was the overnight high. Here's the here is the open. Take this thing over to where this is where the day opened. This was a high, overnight high. It did make a new high up here. So this is a little bit trend. Here's an anchor. Here's a hit. Here's a hit. That validates this trend line. And now we have the overnight low. This was the open. Here is the low of the open. Came back, retested it. Here's our demand zone. But this was
2040. That's crazy.
And if we look at our higher time frame, from yesterday's high, which is up here, this was this is high and low for the day. Here's yesterday's high and low. So we can draw a trend line from that to the confirmation of the third hit. And if we wanted to draw a harmonic, we can be looking at this as a harmonic. Here's our X, here's our A. Let's see how this one plays out here. Here's an X, here's an A. Here's the overnight high, here's the overnight low. There's our C. And we could be coming on up here to retest the D up in this area, which is right in our supply zone. Our X to A, B. So here's our X to B. Here was the break of the harmonic. This one held. Here's our AC line. If we get the break of this, which we did, is coming back to retest, I would say this thing's probably going to go long now. C is held. The XB line has been broken, coming back for the retest. And if we want to look for our M's and W's, here's our W. Here's the X. Let's just draw it here this way. Here's our one leg of the W. Here's the middle of the W. Here's the bottom of the W. And then here's the target of the W. Let's see, I'm trying to make it wider here, but I guess I can't. And right now we have this trend line right here. I'm looking at this as a trend. We didn't get the close inside this triangle. And we'll see if we can get a bounce. I'm gonna just get rid of this trade because I don't like the way this thing's working for me to go short. I'll close that one out upon further review. And the US yen, let's take a look at this in another place. And I'm looking for it to go maybe a little bit more short here, possibly. But this could just be the pullback. From the wedge on this, I kind of like, here's our wedge alert. It was an ascending wedge, I believe. Yes, it was an ascending wedge. So I'm kind of liking this for the channel. Here's my A, here's my B. C was down here, D is up here. I like kind of moving this thing over to where this pivot is, where we had the break of this for the D. And I'm looking at this being in the channel. This could be flatlined here down to here. As long as it doesn't break the C area, we're still good.
Al,
For the
we've actually
for the
had an
harmonic.
alert.
What's that?
We've had an alert at 8:45. We had an alert for
US
US.
CAD. US
Yeah.
CAD. Let's take a look at it.
We might break to the top side on Euro US right now.
Yeah,
Huh?
let's look in the, well, yeah, that's going to retest the trap, one of the two.
It's coming up into your trap.
Yep.
But I think it's got some steam now that it bounced off the bottom.
And that's very possible. And actually, here's our harmonic. It's here. So here we, let's do.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've got a little bit of an indication there.
Yeah.
So let's do.
You keep an eye on that one. Let me go and draw up a
I certainly will.
US CAD. And let's go with, there's your US, go to US CAD.
Wait for a 5-minute candle close.
Yeah, you keep an eye on that one for us.
I certainly will. We'll get it.
And US CAD was a ascending at 845.
Yep.
Here's 845. And make this one yellow for our.
Would have been awesome if my phone didn't die.
There's our wedge alert, ascending. That means it's going low to high. On a 15-minute chart. Overnight high, overnight low. Start with the overnight low. And I'm going to go to the overnight high. Let's see. Well, let's go with this one. This is a little bit lower high, higher low. Flat top it here. These are pointing down right now. You don't want to be taking a long right now. Here's our trend. Here's our anchor. Here's our hit. We'll see if it gets another hit and see if it breaks out of the downside. Now this did start. This is a nice strong move down. Here's the retest of this overnight high. If you look and see where the prices came in for the day so far, we have a, here was the beginning, here's where the open of the high was today. So this is basically a green bar, green daily bar in that area. Once it breaks through the opening, it broke through the opening and came down to made a new low. So right now you have a daily doji or a daily, here's a pivot low. So I think right now I'm looking at this thing could go higher today. Pretty much the low sustained more of the low first. Right now it's up into the area where the high was. We do have this up here. Here's a drop, base, drop, retesting the base area. This is the base area right here. If you draw this all the way out, you'll see there's a lot of action right in this price range. It broke out, came back in, broke out, came back in, broke out, came back in. So it's been zigzagging right around into this area. Everything's coming into here, and let's make a decision either to go up higher or to break down lower. This is for our daily. And yesterday it made a new high. So we have another high up here. So it had a low, a high. Now we do have a little bit of a lower low, but this is this could be the fake out here to go up higher still. But right now it's in a range. It's in a range from yesterday's high to today's low. So this is the playground. So as we said before, it goes sideways. But in that sideways erosion, it does do some trending. This is the playground. This is our range. And right now we're right in the middle of the range with no real clear direction. So what I would be apt to do is I'd be apt to be looking to see, okay, if it gets up into this area, I'll take it short. Here's, I'll try to find out where my fib lines are. Here's my red fib line. Here's the top of the, oh, come on. There's a red fib line, top of the range. We're going to call this our supply zone. And here's the bottom fib line. Here's our blue, here's our red. And I'm going to say into the bottom range is I'll be looking at going long. I want to see it get into one of these ranges before I decide to do anything right now. I'll see, measure the distance and see how much room we have for a target. But this is the area that we're looking at for the bottom of the daily range. Until it breaks out of that, we just keep on going back and forth. Between the red and between the supply zone and the demand zone, is there enough room for trades? We have 41 pips. That's plenty of room to get our 5 pips out. Now the question about where are we going to get in to try and grab those 5 pips? If it breaks out of the bottom of this wedge, we have room down to the blue fib line. That's a 5-minute line. Let's see if there's a 15-minute someplace. This is a 15-minute blue line. I like those. If you have a 15-minute blue, that means it's blue on the 5 minutes, blue on the 2-minute. Oop, what happened? Nope, it's green. Here's a 15-minute green, which is also a 5-minute blue. And this is a 15-minute blue is down here, so that's way down there. Here's a red, 15-minute red. And we'll lock these into place. And then we're going to put our 5 minutes on and see where they lie. Then they will lie in between. Red, green, blue. So right in this area. So this is right at the bottom of the blue as it comes back down. So this will be a significant area. So I'd be looking at
we had some had a little bit of action on Euro USD. It's closed outside of the wedge for the second time on the way up. So
let's see, do we have a new, is this, this was the C area we said? There's a C. That's the AC line. And this would be the, yeah, I'm still not convinced to go along on this one. It still won't let me close out. It's just making lows and highs, lower highs, higher lows, lower highs, higher lows. So right now, to me, it's going sideways inside this range. And there's the box. The low for the day, the high for the day is up here. Here's our range box. And we look at our fib lines and see where our fib lines are with this. See if there's any 15-minute fib lines anywhere close by. And then here's a red one, and should be a blue one up here. And that's a little bit extreme. So let's take a look at, let's mark these 15 minutes. There's a 15-minute red. Here's a 15-minute blue up here. Here's our range. Let's put it on 5-minute. See where the thirds are in between. Here's a red, here's a green. Right now it's right in the middle between the red and green. Just kind of stay out of it right now at this point. It's just trading in between. It's trading, right now it's going sideways inside of a, let's see this Euro US, probably, no, come on. Inside 20.
So it closed on the outside of the wedge this time officially, like the wick on the 5-minute. Which I like better.
We still have this trap right here. We still have to clear through the B, and it's got this red. So right now, I like the idea of we're looking at retesting this area up here. It hasn't come up to retest the red line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this on a, let's see, put it from here. Kind of like the red line here to there. I'm going to make this my trap now. Because this is a range is trading, and we have the red. This is as high as it's gotten. It became. Here's our green. And this is low. It's still making lower highs. For higher lows, lower highs. It's still ranging. Question is, when does it break out, and where is it going to break out, and what's it going to look like when it does?
It's too many questions, Al.
I know it. That's why we stay out of these trades. Or you just, or you do is wait till it gets up in the trap area, take it short, have a tight stop, wait for it to come back down. It's still ranging inside this wedge. Now, once it gets closer to the end here, it will decide which way it's going to break, and then it'll be, but it's probably going to be a strong move, just like this one was a strong move. This one wasn't quite as strong. This was more of a gradual. And let's see, we're going on till about, see, today's Tuesday, so we get to go till about 10 o'clock today. If you like, we could take a 5-minute break and wait for the mark the opening bell and see what happens from that.
Sounds good. I could use a tea.
Okay, let's do that. Let's take a break. And we will come back in about 10 minutes.
All righty.
Awesome.
And we're back.
Hey, I'm back too.
And the market is now open, and we'll see what happens. So right now with this Euro US trade, I'm just looking at this range bound between, I say take it short up here, take it long down here. If it breaks out, then go for the higher time frame, higher targets. Until then, I see no reason to do anything else. And let's see, any other alerts? US Swiss at 9:15 we got.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see that.
All right, so let's go with here's the US CAD. That seems to be somewhat range bound. Looks like the market's opening up a little bit higher today. And we're having, right now, the dollar is still relatively weak on the 15-minute here. So we have US WIS at ascending at 9:15.
Okay.
And we have 9:15. Ascending, it says. I'm sure they're getting that one, other than possibly from
back.
This looks like a retest. Here's a nice move down. Here's a bounce. Here's a retest of this. I kind of like this part. Overnight high. Let me see the overnight areas here. Session break. We got that. Here's the overnight high. Here's the overnight low. Here's the yesterday's low. So we have a little bit of an ascending. We do have a. Let's see where this came from. Let's just redraw this. Yesterday's low, overnight high, retesting the overnight low, yesterday's low. From here to here, we had the wedge alert at 9:15. And let's see if we have anything that we can hang our hat on here. Actually, I kind of like this one with a, here's a high, here's a low, here's a retest. And coming up here at about 88%, up to the green line. And we have a fib line down here. Let's see what time frame that is. That's on the 5-minute. Check our 15-minute lines. Nothing real close by. It's somewhat range bound between the B and, so here's a 15-minute red. And 15-minute green. And points in between. Put these on 5. This will give us 27, 21 pip ranges. We're right in the middle of that on this one. So if we have this range, and let's put our 2 minutes on in between there and see where they fall. Blue to blue, range is right on the blue to blue, and we have, this would be demand. This would be supply up here. These should be all 7 pip ranges. That's our 15-minute. Let's go to our 5-minute and see what we have over there. Now the inner range on this should be 14 pips. Pretty close. There's the low. There's the low. Tweak that out. And we're showing that the Swiss looks like it's stronger to the down, strong, so that'd be to the downside, but we are at extreme down here. Yeah, right now I'm just going to wait on this one. Not seeing anything real definitive.
No, it seems to be working itself out to the best of its ability, I suppose.
So right now it's pretty much in the middle of our range, of our Fibonacci ranges. And I'm not seeing anything I want to, if I want to take it, I want to be looking to see what happens down in this area or up in this area. I want to see a little bit more of a definitive, we have a nice little trend line. Let's see, probably from, draw one from the B area to the, got a couple of hits here. Here's an anchor, here's a hit, here's a hit, here's a hit, here's a hit. We tested that trend line 4 times. And if you look at this right now, you can see where it's sort of trending. Here's a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be at the bottom of a wave. We could be getting an ABC wave coming up. So this could be the bottom of a W. Let's go to a higher time frame and see what it looks like on a higher time frame. I'll go to a 1-hour chart. Take the fib lines off. This could be the bottom of the W. Here's the first leg. There's the middle of the W, the second leg, retest, and then we could be going on up to the D. So I'd be looking to see a breakout of this X to B range. See if it breaks out of that and it comes up and retests the D. Until then, it's still kind of on a short side, but I don't think it's going. I would be willing to I'd be looking to see it retesting the level of the A where this demand is. That's on a 1-hour chart. Let's go back to so if it comes back, if we get a strong move, actually we did get a pretty strong move coming right down into this area and it's getting the bounce off of that. So this could be the first leg of the middle leg of the W. Could come on up here. So you could get a little test up in this area and then retest. So right now I'd say it's still range bound. So I'll stay away from that one for right now. Any questions, comments? Now's the time.
No comments. I just agree with you.
Likewise.
These sessions are sort of like your own. It's almost like having you have the ability to have some mentoring and some someone to help give you some clarity on price action analysis and technical trading. So this is an opportunity. This is a free service available to you from Auvoria Prime. So if you don't ask questions, it's not doing any, but it's not going to do you as much good as if you do. So just so you know, we can sit here and talk to ourselves and describe what we're seeing, but I don't believe that everybody understands everything to the way I explain it. And if you don't, you need to ask.
Yeah, take advantage while we're still here.
Yeah, this may not last forever.
We're trying to teach y'all how to fish.
Exactly. This is really a nice little strong move right down into our zone here. But I'm also looking at, if we have keep in mind where our fib lines are. Here's a blue fib line. So we have a little range right in here. I just drew this based on the fib lines, but you also see that we had this nice strong move. Here's what I was saying earlier when I took that trade short in that trap zone. See how this candle just dropped right on down and then just came right back up. I was just like, and it was right in this fib, is right in this zone right here where the green and blue lines are. Came right on in. This was the trap. There probably was something over here to the left that may have given us a clue about that. Let's just see. Other than the fib line, let's go to a higher time frame. That'd go back pretty far if it did. Nope. All the way back in March, and it made a new low back all the way from March. Let's see if it go a little higher. There we go. This may have been the lowest low for a while here. Finish where all these lines are. Looking right around the 89.91 area. There's the low. This is all the way back in January of 2015. Wow. And this is the retest back in May. Go back to our 15-minute chart. Well, that's a long way down. It's been a long time since I've been back to any of these levels. The fact that it found a level right here on this move back here in last week, I would expect another bounce off of that level. Looks like this thing's breaking to the downside.
Do you have a potential target mapped out in case it
Well, I would say if it comes down into this demand zone, and we get, I would see it come down in the zone, give us a little bit of a hook to come back out, then I'd be looking at the supply zone being the target.
Okay.
Right now, it's trading inside this area. We have the green-blue lines down here. We have the green-blue lines up above. And then this is the point in between the demand zone and then this is actually the overshoot of the supply zone of the blue line. The blue-green is an overshoot. And this is the undershoot, basically. Have all these things coming down. We're seeing where on the 15-minute, we're seeing the 8-period RSI is coming right down to that 75 level. Strong move down coming in here. And let's see where we look on the 15-minute, 5-minute chart. I like the strong candle down in here. I said oftentimes we'll see the strong move down, only for it to find out it was doing is getting everybody going short. And unless it keeps on going, it's just going to turn right around and they come back up and retest. And my VPS locked up again. You got to be kidding me.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we'll see what this thing does right here in this area. I'll be looking at seeing if we can get the 1-minute crossovers. So we get a little bit of a bounce. It's going to be the retest, or it's going to break through and start going up to the let's see, U.S. yen, euro, U.S. or what is it? The U.S. Swiss. I would say this is a pullback to retest. I say we could possibly take this thing short right up in here. And see, do we have room for 7 pips to the demand zone? Just barely. I think I'll pass on this. When do we get more confirmation? We see if we get a, still going a 15-minute chart. Came very close to taking that, going right into that demand. I like to see these come out and start breaking to the up, pointing to the upside on this one. This was a nice little bounce. That's probably, you could probably have your 7 pip bounce on this. Almost 5 there, 6 pips. And it did not close below this alert line. Now here was where this was a low before the alert was generated. Again, this is sort of like a breakout. We'll see if this thing's going to come up and retest. If this is going to retest the wedge, you could possibly take this thing short and go for a 7 pips down to the demand. I'm going to take a shot at taking this thing short. My stop will be pretty much right here at where the supply zone is. And my target's going to be right here in the middle of the demand zone. Probably take it right about in the middle of this. 8 pip target, 8 pip stop. This will be a 1-to-1 trade. In fact, I think I'll have my stop just above the red, this strong candle where this candle came down, strong candle came down. If it takes that out, that means it's going to go and start taking off. And this was demand zone was valid. I'm looking for a retest again. We had a 15-minute close below the wedge, came back up, retested it. We don't have any closes above where the low of this entry was. It would be the entry between here and top of the wedge. If this thing goes and closes up inside the wedge, I'll be out of this trade. This looks like the first pullback. It probably come back, and it's a good chance it's going to come back and retest this demand zone. We'll go to our 1 minute, our 1 minute chart and see how our moving averages and our Fibonacci's are doing. Now getting the crossover of the green and yellow. Came up, tested the 62. That's pretty much where we tried to get in. The spread got us filled right here. And see if we can find our 7 pips. There's 8. We'll go for 7 pips. And we're going to shut this thing off in about 2 more minutes, and we will see everybody tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be the plan.
I'm watching these, the green and the yellow Fibonacci or moving averages, and I'm going to see this green cross over the yellow. If it doesn't cross over the yellow and comes back and retest these candles right here, then I'll be out of this trade. Right now, it looks like this thing should break down, but we are getting a higher high, higher low right here. Keep in mind, this is on the 1 minute chart, so it's going to be it's more apt to give us some whipsawing. Let's go to our 5 minutes, see what it does. Right now, we did not get a 5 minute close above our initial trend line where our wedge alert was. Right now we have an engulfing candle right here. We have the blue candle, it's got a wick above it, so I guess it's seeing if this thing can break through this blue candle right here. I'd like to see it close below this 5 minute candle.
Leslie just posted, thank you for all that you do. Please know that even if I don't speak up, I am still paying attention and learning. Have a great day. Thank you, Leslie.
Yeah, thank you, Leslie. Yeah, not everybody wants to talk, and that's okay. We hope everybody can get comfortable enough to talk and share some things. It's nice to know that you're showing up, Leslie, every day, and we appreciate that.
All right. Well, thanks for the great session. We'll
looks like it is over, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll chat sooner than later.
Okay. Thanks everybody for coming in. We'll see everybody tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock East Coast time. See you then.
Bye.
See you later.